We have a lot of beers on tap here, and I think this is going to be on constant rotation now. I think this is a new staple for the house. In this week's video, I'm going to show you how to make this delicious apple crumble cider. To start off making our cider, we're going to rehydrate our yeast. The reason we're doing this is cider yeast can be a little bit temperamental. We don't want to stress it out at all. As soon as it gets stressed out, it starts pumping out sulfur, and that really destroys the taste. So we're going to take every precaution we can to make sure we have the cleanest, healthiest fermentation. So what we have here is some Sapphire cider yeast. So we're just going to open this up and sprinkle it into our 27-degree water. So I've got here a cup of water. And we're also going to do a teaspoon of yeast nutrient. So now we're just going to give this a good stir. Give this a sanitize. And we're just going to let this slurry sort of rehydrate over the next half hour. Whilst we do that, we're going to clean our fermenter and then pour in our juice. The first thing we did is a hydrometer reading. So because we're just adding apple juice, we just took a reading straight from the bottle, as that will be a good indication of what will be across the whole batch. From here, as you can see, we've got a reading of 1045. That's a little bit low for us because we will have to back sweeten with some juice. That's going to dilute it a little bit. So we're trying to go for around that 6% apple juice. So here we've got some brown sugar. We've got just over half a kilo, and hopefully that's going to bring it up to around that 6%. But yeah, we don't really know, kind of just using what we've got, and it doesn't really matter. It's going to be more than 5%, and that's good enough for us. All right, so let's add our cider. So what we really want to do is try and get as much aeration in as we're pouring it. So really get that lugging around. All right, that's 2 liters. Now let's add the other 19. Alright, now onto our brown sugar. It's looking good. Smells amazing. Let's add our yeast slurry. Just going to pour this straight in. Get this on nice and tight. And give it a good shake. So I've just attached our Inkbird. We're using the jumper method here, as we don't want to apply too much heat straight onto the fermenter. We want to have the jumper as a great insulator. So I've got our Inkbird attached at 22 degrees. This is the ambient sort of temperature of our house. It's well within the yeast's working range, so I think it's going to be really good. So I reckon this is going to take a week to sort of 2 weeks to be fully fermented down using the cider yeast. When it's approaching the end, we're going to hit it up with our spice cocktail. It's going to turn this basic cider into that delicious apple crumble cider. So we'll see you then. Good afternoon, everyone. We have reached our target gravity of 1010 on our cider. We're being really careful here. Last time we made a cider, as we said before, it was really salt-free. I kind of took that down to the yeast getting stressed, and right now we're at a good final gravity. There's no sulfur to be smelt, so we're going to rack it and kill off this yeast. So hopefully this is a lot better than last time. To kill the yeast, we have a mixture of sorbic acid and Candem tablets. We did 1 Candem tablet per 5 litres, and 1 gram of the sorbic acid per 5 litres. We pour that into some of our apple juice that we've taken off the top, and we're just going to pour this into the keg. And now we're just going to give this keg a quick purge of oxygen and start racking across. So we've got this fermenter set to 12 psi, we've got the keg set to 8, so we've got a nice pressure difference between the two. Just going to put on the gas. We've already purged this line, so we've just got pure cider in it. Put that on. Start transferring a bit of gas. And now we're just going to let this sit. It's going to slowly transfer across onto our yeast killing mixture. And then in 24 hours, everything should be good. And then we can start our back sweetening process. So I'll see you then. So it's been 24 hours since our apple cider has been in the keg. So now it's time to prepare our spices and our oats. To start off with, we've got 700 grams of oats in a brew in a bag. We've got some water here up at around 75 degrees. Alright, I'm just going to stop this here. Adding the oats to the water turned out to be a really bad idea. It got really gluggy due to all the starches, and it turned into a big mess that was really hard to clean. I spoke to some friends about this, and steeping it in apple juice is actually a lot better. It doesn't get gluggy or starchy, and it's a lot easier to condense down. And we're going to steep them for about half an hour to an hour. Get it boiling so I can reduce the liquid down, and then add our spice mix. So let's get to it. So just giving it a good stir, same as brewing a bag. We just want all of those oats to be nice and soaked, so then we can get that delicious oat flavour straight into the cider. After our oats and apple juice had finished condensing down, we added our spice mixture and let it steep in the water for about 30 minutes as the water cooled. So our cider's been in the keg for 2 weeks now, and it's time for our first proper taste with all the spices in. Can't wait. Really good. That's surprising actually. I didn't think the vanilla would be as strong, but it's really there, and it really has that vanilla ice cream kind of reminiscent taste. Exactly what I wanted. Alright, so let's break this down because it's quite a complex sort of beer, being an apple crumble cider. So it's got the cardamom, the cinnamon, all those spices really give you that crumble sort of mix with the oats. You got the sweet sort of apple, because we didn't let this go down to a really dry cider, so it's still quite sweet. So it's sweet apples, we've got the spices, and then the vanilla at the end. That creaminess, sort of the vanilla ice cream, and it really does round off that apple crumble that everyone knows and loves. And it's turned what is just a simple apple juice cider into something sort of next level, something that is really enjoyable. And we have a lot of beers on tap here, and I think this is going to be on constant rotation now. I think this is a new staple for the house, and I'm loving it. So cheers. So thanks for watching this video. We're going to do more beer videos. Our next one is our vanilla porter. That's been in the keg for probably about 2 weeks as well. So we're just letting that mature a bit more before we do that video. But stay subscribed for that, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.